What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Music to My Ears podcast. This is episode 2, and I am so excited to have on this episode one of my good friends, Chicago rising artist from the north side of Chicago. Everybody, please welcome my guest, Aubry. Let's go.
What's the deal? What's
Hey,
going on?
it's
What's up?
I just want to say I appreciate you coming on, bro. I was very excited. You were the second person that came to my mind, and I was just like, you know what, we're gonna have some fun.
Hey,
You
man.
deserve it, and I just want to be able to provide this platform so people can get to know you and your music as well.
Hell yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
Definitely.
Like I said, it's a privilege to even get asked to be on like platforms and stuff like that. For people to
Yeah.
even want to like hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
So I don't take stuff like this for granted. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, shout out to Lyric Lounge for sponsoring this segment too as well. How's your day been going today, bro? It's good to have you in the studio with us. Just let the people know what side of the city you repping, and we can go from there.
Um, Day's been all right. It's Wednesday.
It's
I feel
dayin',
like
it's
at this point
dayin'.
I blink. This week is last week,
Yeah.
and then like the next week is already coming. By the
Yeah.
time like before I know it, it's the end of the month.
Man, already it's going by so fast.
But my day's been all right. My day's been
good.
cool. I'm from up north. Burbs, for real.
Nice.
Always that's really where I've been out most of my life, for real. Just
Nice.
that's all I've really known.
Yeah.
I've always known that.
That's so cool because like being from the south side of Chicago, like I never really got the opportunity to be like up on the north side a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really cool to be able to have people like that's coming from like Edgewater, Lakeview, Evanston, like those places. So like how do you feel like being on the north side was definitely different from the south side? I know that's a funny question because we all know the
Yeah,
answer.
literally.
But it's just good to hear it.
It's just like because it's the same thing, like you said. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't have that many opportunities
Yeah.
or reasons to go to the south
Yeah.
side like that. So it's like it's interesting when like you look at it and it's a completely different. It's like a culture shift
Yeah.
when you look at it from being from the north side
Yeah.
compared to somebody from the south side
Yeah.
that looks at up north as a culture shift. 'Cause that's
Exactly.
like what the fuck is over there.
Yeah.
But then you think of south side and it's like damn, like it's like what's it like up there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy how different, but it's also crazy how similar people think when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like you look at it as okay, how do they talk over there? What's
Yeah.
life like over there? What do
Yeah.
they have to deal with? What's the day to day?
Because we hear about it,
You know?
but we never get a chance to like go experience it until we have those opportunities to be able to go. You know what I mean?
Because people's ideas and people's words
Yeah.
and their experience
Yeah.
can only tell you so much because their everything
True.
isn't everything you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even everything in the world for real.
Yeah.
So you can only really go off of preconceived notions, preconceived thoughts,
Yeah.
and the experiences of others.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's never gonna be really that until you have to go out there yourself and
The
see
experience.
what's up. So that's what I think is the biggest difference between the two.
Yeah.
I think it's like you just kind of like you either know
Yeah.
or you don't. And if you
For
don't
real.
know, then
now
like,
you know. Yeah.
it's kind of just like you just have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good question to ask because it's gonna follow up to what else I'm about to ask you. How did that kind of like shape your writing or just get you motivated to be like do music and be comfortable in your like your part of the city to be like I'm Aubry. I want to take this leap of faith to start making music and putting my name out there. Like, what was that like for you doing that when you first started, or like just give us a background of like what created Aubry to do music? You know what I mean?
Well, it's crazy because at the time when I first started like putting words together, kind of like writing raps. And stuff, it was really just for fun. I didn't really like. I was garbage. I was trash. I mean, everybody garbage when they start, but like, I was just really bad. But look, it was fun because it was. I think I was just more inspired by like the people that were coming out at the time. Because you got to think this is like I didn't start writing raps for real until like 2013.
Okay, yeah.
So That's Kendrick at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's guys like
Yep.
Childish Gambino. That's guys
Mm-hmm.
like Mac Miller. That's guys
Action
like
Bronson,
Action Bronson,
Absol.
Chance the
Yep.
Rapper, who like at that time like Acid Rap already came out,
Yep.
and I remember because like I remember it was like my 8th grade graduation, and one of my classmates, he literally walks up to me and he's like, "Yo, you listen to Chance?" And I was like, "I haven't listened to them in like a minute. It's
Yeah.
been like since like I think like 7th grade type shit because like
Yeah.
10 Day was already out."
Yeah.
But I wasn't listening to
Yeah.
albums in full back then.
It
like
wasn't.
that.
Yeah. It wasn't how it is now.
Exactly.
So yeah,
where it's
I
like
can
as
understand.
accessible and shit.
Yeah.
So like you kind of gotta. It's very like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still like you got to be tapped in. Once you tapped in, you
Yeah.
can share.
Exactly.
But he was like, "Huh, yeah, like you listen to Chance." I'm like, "I haven't listened to it." So I like that night, I just see what they got going on.
Yeah.
Like I saw he had Juice already out, like the video, and
Yeah.
I listened to it. I was like, "Oh, yo, what the fuck
Yep.
is this? This is
Yep.
crazy."
I remember that.
And then I went and saw he had a whole project out. So then I'm like, okay.
Yep.
And then I see favorite song featuring Childish Gambino, and I love
Yeah.
Childish Gambino at the time. So I'm like, wait, he made a song
Oh,
with.
Yep.
And then I heard it,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh no, I gotta listen to this whole thing.
So it's good to hear, you tap into that same type of space and that energy that kind of portrayed you to do your music too.
Yeah, it was a solid mix though, because
Yeah.
it was like around that time I wasn't really like. There were people looking back in it. There were people in the town that rap,
Yeah.
but like I wasn't aware of them because I wasn't tapped into local talent like
Yeah.
that. Because usually like what you're gonna listen to is on the radio and stuff
Yeah.
like that, or what's on
Yeah.
what's being played,
Yeah.
what's just being heard
Yeah.
instead of like. I didn't really start deep diving and looking into music and finding music of other people that I didn't know until high school.
Yeah.
So in Evanston, it was kind of just like you really had to go off of what people were sharing on Facebook.
Yeah.
And like like I think the best rapper that I heard around the time was this cat named Kwaku Collins.
Yeah. Oh wow.
He's a couple years older than me. We went to the same high school, so
wow.
he was
I
like
remember.
the first rapper
Yep.
I heard that I'm like, wait,
Yep.
you from here and you can rap, like, and you good, and this is shit I would listen
Yep.
to, dog. Like, he was literally like, he was the first one I saw from around the way to like really put on and really
Yeah,
do
that's
it
cool.
and do it do it his way and make what
Yeah.
he wanted. And I think that was really like that was in a way for like the cats that rapped at the time, that was very like, okay, it's more possible than we think.
Yeah.
We walked the halls with this nigga.
Yeah.
Like that's wild to
Yeah, that
see
is
that,
wild.
you know?
Yeah.
Like me and
Yeah.
my best friend, we talk about it and we're just like, yo, like the fact that it happened, or even when I see him, like
yeah.
I'll tell him like, yo, like you still in a lot of ways like the
Yeah.
benchmark for real.
You still are. You still can be the conversation because you already have been the conversation before.
Yes.
So it you know what I mean. People seen your name before. People listen to the music. People know who you are, but they want you to be back out here.
Yeah,
doing more
nah, man.
stuff.
He's definitely he's definitely in the stew. I've heard stuff that he's
Never
played.
met him, but I
Nah,
definitely know the
he's-
music. Very talented artist. Definitely around that
He's
era of
incredible.
artists in Chicago that niched the music scene here. So shout out to him as well. So that's really cool that you being able to see him as like you at your high school walking these hallways and transpiring into something bigger opportunity wise that I would be motivated
Yeah.
as well to see that too.
Yeah,
And this
nah.
is one of my peers that, like you said, we in high school together. So that's really
Yeah,
cool.
he was. Yeah, no, it was crazy. Just the level of like lyricism. It was really like because he went to this poetry club
Mm-hmm.
that I started going to after,
Mhm.
like on Wednesdays, like every Wednesday after school, and I would just be around so many like people that could write.
That
Crazy
brewed
how
up.
small,
Yes.
like I said, it's the world is a lot
Mhm.
smaller. Like Chicago's a big place,
Yeah.
but so small at
Yeah.
the same time
Yeah.
because it's like someone might know somebody that knows somebody else that knows.
It's always
someone,
like
you
that.
know.
Somebody
And
knows
it's like
somebody.
the degrees of separation are so much closer
Yeah,
than we think. It's just
exactly.
like it doesn't take that many steps
Nope,
to like,
it doesn't.
you
It
know, because I
doesn't.
remember I was at an event and then Mello from Pivot Game just showed
Yeah.
up and I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
And then we just
exactly.
chopped it up for like 2 seconds and I told him like he's very like I told him you're part of like this renaissance shit that
Yeah.
pushed
Yep.
like Chicago
Yep.
rap forward. And I told him like
Mm-hmm.
me with people that I meet, what like whether you're local or you're
Yeah.
already on or
Yeah.
whatever, if I'm a fan and I'm like a genuine fan
Yeah.
and I appreciate what you
Yeah.
put out,
Same.
I'm going to give you your
Mm-hmm.
props
Yep.
every time. Like I'm gonna give you your flowers every time
Yep.
because you need to hear that. Because I feel like people like to be too cool about stuff sometimes, and they want to act like they can't give props or they
It's
can't
always
like,
gatekeeping,
you
y'all. Stop
know.
the
And I feel like that
gatekeeping.
shit's
Cause you
lame.
know what? It is very.
It's lame as hell because it's like you don't even have to do that because it's just like if I, cause me, I I don't feel like I'm satisfied with looking at shit from a lens of like, like he not even that good for real, you know?
Yeah,
Like
for
I
real.
don't like if I like it and I genuinely like it, why would I fake hate on it?
Exactly.
You know?
What? It's
I feel
people.
like that shit is weird.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
lame. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
That's why people are that I feel like that in a way resorts and creates people to be
Yeah.
gatekeep like
Yeah.
for them to keep shit away from
Yeah.
other people because it's like oh, like you don't even like really fuck with it, but deep down they might fuck with it
Exactly.
heavy,
More than
but
you.
they want to be
They
super
don't want
cool
you to
and
know.
they don't want you to know that.
It's
And I
wild.
think that's weird. But
Yeah.
me, I'm not like that at all for like anybody that I
Yeah.
really have genuine like appreciation
Yeah.
for their art and genuine appreciation for whatever that they create. Because people don't understand
Yeah.
that shit is hard. Sometimes it's hard to get words on paper
Yeah, it is. Them your like personal
to
thoughts.
a beat
Yeah.
to put it out and
And make
like
it sound good.
because once you put it out, it's not
Exactly.
yours no more. For real.
No, this is
It's
ears for the world.
it's literally so now it's just like you look at it and it's it's crazy because these are things that really happen that you turn into this tangible
Yep.
thing that
Yep.
so many people have now.
Yep.
And it's like a lot of people are shy. A lot of people are sensitive. Like these words
are
mean a
feelings.
lot.
Yeah,
These aren't
exactly.
just words to people.
Yeah.
Like they're things that are these are sentences that hold significance to a higher level that you might not
Yeah.
even be aware of. Like the
Exactly.
simplest sentence
Yeah.
can mean the world to whoever said it.
Yeah.
So I think that with that in mind and with that being so important, I'm going to give props every
Yeah.
time. That's just me though.
And I love that you said that. So this is like gonna flow into my next question, which is, what do you think the Chicago music scene has been missing over those years from when you first started listening to these pillar artists that kind of are the face for our music world? You know what I mean? Here in the city, and just from seeing them years ago till now, and just how everything has changed and evolving into to something new. What do you think is something that's like still missing in the city that artists are like, I wish I had this, or I wish somebody would step up or do this, you know what I mean? Or like, what is the resource that you think, as you being an artist, that you would like to see?
You know what's crazy? I think some of the resources I could have said that would be clutch to have
Yeah,
are starting to show up.
yeah,
Like things like Wind Down Wednesday at Studio
yeah.
Shapes. Like that's essential.
So like events that bring people
Events
together.
that bring people
Yeah.
together, allow people to network,
Yeah.
allow people to be in the same
Themselves.
space,
Yep.
under the same roof.
Yep.
Like no ego, no
Yeah.
sense of like you need to try and put on a front to be somebody in
Yeah.
there. Nah, like you just need to really be yourself. And like everybody in there is nice.
And
Everybody
you
in
know
there
what?
are
I love
cool
that you
people.
said. I love that you said being yourself, because like I've met people before, and you know, obviously, sometimes you meet people and you're just like, oh yeah, I could tell their agenda is just to get where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
And then like you'll meet someone and you'll be like, wow, like you know, this person, they really care about their art. They care about the people that listen to it. They care about the people that actually take the time out and come to their shows and support. So I know for a fact that like that energy and that love of just being appreciated for your grind, your hustle, the music as well, and just putting that out there is it feels good. Like you
Yeah.
love it, and it's more connectable for the listeners, and you know what I mean. Your fans too. It's just really cool to be able to see like an artist like you starting to really get their name out here, and people are paying attention now. And then like you can rap, like y'all. This man can rap. If this man say he can't rap, he lying to y'all. This man can rap, y'all. And then like even the first interaction, like we were just talking about, like when I first came across your music, it was followed by like the group MP3.
Mhm.
So if you can let people know like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that group
yeah.
is, how you guys established your sound, and just who you all are, that I think
Yes,
is really dope.
indeed. Mp3Dotcom consists of me, Graves, Mugen the Human, Don Orphan, Coldwater,
Yeah,
um, Adi, Bennett Insanity, um, my homie Shay, and a few other cats. Like it's really just our.
yeah,
It's really like our friend group,
yeah.
essentially. Like my homie DJ,
Mhm.
who used to DJ, still DJs for me,
Yeah,
and Stranded, of course.
yeah.
He knew Don and Mugen before we met them.
That's cool. That's
So,
really
because he
cool.
went to school with them,
Yeah,
he went to Columbia.
yeah,
So, the first time they were having an event, DJ was like, "Yo, like Shay and me are gonna be selling clothes. Y'all should pull
yeah,
up."
yeah.
And like we from the town, like we don't have that many excuses to go in the city like
Yeah.
that unless it's like we
Something,
going
something.
somewhere, you know?
Yeah,
Unless
yeah,
it's like because the most we be in the city for if we not walking around,
yeah,
if we not just like idling on some like
yeah,
Lord of Squad bullshit,
yeah,
it's really just like if it's not going to see a show or going to see a movie or going somewhere specific, we not really up there.
yeah,
So this was the first real like pop up art show, like
yeah,
pop up DIY
yeah,
shit that I've seen for real.
yeah,
Um, with people that I haven't met yet.
yeah.
So we get up there, and then I already see like familiar faces, and it's crazy because like when you look back, so many of the people that you were there, it's like now you look and you're like, wait, I know them, and I know them,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
know them.
exactly.
But like
Everyone has their own
exactly,
identity now. Like
so
it's so cool.
it's really cool to look back, but like yeah, my homie was up there and he's DJing, my other homie selling clothes, and then I'm just seeing Don and Mugen and like their friends just go up there and go crazy and
Yeah.
just performing. I'm just like,
And it's funny that you say that, because like when I first came across MP3, I was excited, and I was just like, wow, like they come in with the Smash Bros. Like
yeah,
who's your player? Like a
yeah,
player approaching. You know when you get that,
yeah,
when you about to get a new player.
yeah,
And then I seen like you all had like your own like niche, but it was
mm,
like y'all could come together and create music together. And I love it because I felt like it was really cool to see like a refresher of new MCs come in that were not just from one part of the city. Everybody was from all over,
yeah,
and you all had like your own style. That's when I first was like introduced to all of you all as a group. What really solidified my ears for your music was when Shane had his show. That one time, I don't remember the name of the show, but I got invited and I came out, and I feel like that show was amazing because it was like, first of all, I like I said, I only knew one of the artists that performed, but I still went with an open mindset of just being able to listen and give an artist a chance to be a listener in the crowd, to be like, yo, you know what? I don't really know you, but I came because I want to know you.
yeah.
I want to know the music. I want to hear something different. And then when you got up on the mic, you snapped, like you killed it, and I was just like,
That
bro,
was
that man
crazy.
could rap.
That
Let's
was crazy
go.
because it's the same. It's like it's so crazy because it all goes back to the first time I met like Mugen and Don and them.
Yeah,
It's the same shit happened because I like at that show. I was literally just like I saw that they were just having a space where people just came up and freestyle.
yeah.
Mugen's literally every time someone does it, he looks dead at me and he don't stop until I do
Get up
either
there.
acknowledge him or I do it. So he'll
Exactly.
literally just be like, I'm just waiting on you. Like anytime you ready for real. And I'm like, dog. And he's like, nah, like, you know what you gotta do. You know what
Yeah,
you gotta do.
that
And I think what made him do that is because the first time we met at that art show that I was talking about
yeah,
where my homie Shay was selling clothes, my homie DJ was
yeah,
DJing, he was DJing for their sets too. There was like an intermission where like nothing was really going on.
yeah,
And then Don's like, all right, we kind of are having a second. Does anybody want to spit a 16?
Trying to put you on the spot.
My best friend is in the crowd. This nigga grabs me by the collar.
That is hilarious.
And he's like, him. And I'm like, dog, no. And then but it's like a group of, it's like a DIY show, so it's a group of people standing and they seeing us. So, and then Don's looking at me like, you trying to rap? And this motherfucker's looking at me, so I can't just be like, nah, now. So I'm like, okay, you know what?
Yeah, and the rest, and like everybody else that was in the group too, and everybody else that was there at that show, everyone had their own like identity. They were all dope artists. Everyone had their own style, their own delivery. So it was like, wow, like I actually came and I gained like 8 more artists that I can add to my playlist. So, and then, but it was really cool that I got a chance to open my ears up to allow the newer people that I wasn't familiar with to be like, wow, you know, like I want to follow Aubry to see who is Aubry. I want to get to know who Aubry is because he can spit. You know what I mean? So I think that was a really cool thing. So how do you feel about like some of the shows that you've done? Like, what would you say like the vibes are sometimes when you come to the Aubry show? Like, what people can expect? All of that.
I think one show that definitely stands out. I'll say like two shows that definitely stand out. First show post high school that I did at a Chicago venue was at Subterranean. First headlining show
Sub
ever.
T, shout out to Sub T.
Played Sub T.
Yeah, that's pretty big
like,
too.
Yeah, and damn near sold that bitch out for like a mixtape nobody heard.
Wow,
because it didn't even come out yet. It was really like an album release. We did
crazy.
We performed the whole thing in full, and it was like it was fun because damn near selling that out just off the strength of just passing out tickets and being like, yo, we about to perform here.
The groundwork.
Like just doing groundwork type shit was really cool, and just passing out a link. And another dope thing, another dope show was headlining Shuba's for the first time.
Yeah, that was congratulations. That's really big too. That's really big.
That was Mugen and Linda Soul and Stranded. That was us three. That bill.
Wow.
So it was really just like a because you know how like Shuba's has their 100% off like, shows.
Yeah.
So the key with those shows are they're gonna tell you when it is, but they're not gonna like really promote it like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's 100% also it's free. It's really on you to bring whoever coming out.
Yeah. So exactly.
And they gave us a Monday.
Wow.
So it's
and
like,
you know, I already know Mondays is hard to get people out to shows.
Mondays is definitely a task, but we got a good amount of people in there on a Monday to hear raps. You know,
I'm just like blown away because I'm proud of you for you know like Reggie's was the stepping stone point. Like it was like you opened for somebody at Reggie's, and then it was like you headlined it there. Yeah. And it was like after you headline Reggie's, and then it was like you move into the Shubas, the Lincoln Hall, the Metro, and Chop Shop, and all that. So it's like, wow, for you to even skyrocket to Shubas and Sub T, bro, and then on a Monday, I know how that is.
It was
so
crazy.
I'm proud of you for that. That's amazing,
man.
Bro.
It's honestly, like I said, it's a privilege to do that. The fact that I've played Shuba's like more than once, even if it wasn't like my set, like being asked, like someone having a set and being asked to come up and perform with them, or having a set myself. It's very like, it reminds me that I highlight and I champion like the little things a lot, and they mean a lot because that little step is a giant step to somebody else. That little thing is a big thing to somebody else. And
I agree.
A lot of people would love to have the opportunity to perform at a venue like a Shuba's, like a Sub T.
So I commend you for all of that, bro, and congratulations on all of that. It's too cool stuff.
Man, appreciate you.
Definitely.
You for always looking out.
Man, always. I try to do what I can, bro. I also wanted to ask you too, like, this is another question that we're gonna go into. Stranded civilians. Like, how did that come about? Like, I heard the music. You and Tony are lit. Like, y'all are two amazing lyricists. It's like tit for tat. Like you need one without the other, but when it's together and fused, it's amazing. A problem. And I'm like, how did that even come about? You know, all of that, and then you obviously being from the MP3 group and being with your homies and being in that collective,
Mm.
and then you being with Tony, and then you two doing y'all thing, and then you being Aubry after. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
I met Tony in the 6th grade. I've
Nice.
known him since the 6th grade, which is
Wow.
crazy to think
Yep.
about. But we didn't start making music for right, like really started rapping until like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like middle school, me and Tone did not get along like that. We really didn't. Like, 'cause I was a new kid at the middle school,
Yeah.
and when you the new kid at a middle school,
Yeah. You know
it's
how
like
it is.
it's finna be
Up.
an ass whooping
Yes.
for the next 3 years.
For
So
real.
it's kind of like I'm going into a situation where a lot of the people, and the worst part is my middle school was a magnet school. So
Yeah. Oh,
all the
yeah,
people that are
yeah.
in 6th grade have been there
Yeah.
since kindergarten, and I'm showing up now, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like I'm the odd one out. Everybody know each other. They don't
Yeah.
know shit about me. So
Yeah.
it's like I kind of just kind of got to rock with it and do what I got to do. But
Yeah.
one thing that we always that we always bonded over was rap.
Mhm.
And with like I said, with the time period and all these new people coming out, it kind of
Yeah.
lit a fire for us to like want to at least try.
Yeah.
And then when he asked me about it, I was like, okay. Like, why not? It's for
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
shit
Just
for
to see
other
what
people
can
to
happen.
listen
Yeah.
to.
Exactly.
And then I remember we recorded at a homie's crib. Shout out to my homie Aiden. Like, literally his basement. And, like, this shit wasn't a mix or anything. It was just fun. It was just, like, he just wanted to record people. So it was like, you know what, why not?
Yeah.
And so we did it. And then we just put the song on SoundCloud, like, that same week.
That's so.
And it was
lit.
just, and then it was just weird. It was just crazy seeing a lot of people be like, "Yo, check out they new track or see what's up, like this, that, and the third." And people like fucking with it, and it was kind of just like, "Oh, we just started bullshitting, really." But like, then we just started making a couple songs, and then like there was a time period where like I was kind of doing more other stuff. Tone was doing his stuff, but we'd still like collab, and we'd still whatever, and I'd make beats for him, and we'd be on each other's songs. He sent me songs, I sent him stuff. And so we would do that, and then around like us graduating high school, he was like, "Bro, you wanna run it up? You wanna try this again? Like now that we don't make the same, like we don't have the same ears we did in 6th grade, and now a lot more things are accessible. We can try this again." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then
that's awesome, bro.
that led to us dropping our first mixtape. If you Stranded Civilians on SoundCloud,
Yep.
True Sayings, it's on there. It's not on streaming. That like it's literally like a SoundCloud mixtape. Like
go to SoundCloud, y'all. Go to SoundCloud.
Go to SoundCloud, man. You'd be surprised how many gems is on SoundCloud that's not on Apple Music or Spotify. Like a lot of good music is on there. So we just kind of put it on there and stuff like that. And then after that, put shit on streaming. And I was able to do a lot of stuff. I'm like that group in a way taught me how to rap.
Yeah, that's
I became a better rapper because of Tone, because I know that he's going to bring an energy to a rap, and I'm bringing my own energy too. So it's kind of like feeding off of what he does. And it's like he's gonna make me want to be better because I know he's gonna like if you know somebody's gonna put, you know. So
exactly.
It's not even on some like I'm trying to wash anybody or I'm trying to have the best verse. It's literally like, all right, I know he's gonna bring it. I gotta bring it too.
It's just bettering your craft. That's it. Like I love that. I love being around people that's like that because it'll just show me like, okay, well, you know, I could just step up my game too and then be the bigger best version of myself that I already know I am.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you need to have like that back and forth to be able to bring that out of you. And it's good having like a homie, someone you trust and you feel comfortable with, you know, and then y'all having fun doing it. So
that's the key.
That is definitely the key.
That's what made Mp3Dotcom like that's what made it cool, because before we even put a name to it, we were all just linking up at my homie Bennett crib, and we were just like cooking up when I tell you like every Monday, we would link up every Monday during the summer, during like when it wasn't like when it was like still the pandemic,
Yeah.
but it was like we could go outside for real, but it was
Yeah.
still like be smooth. But we would just cook up and just make a new track every week.
That's so cool.
Cook something up every week, make a beat every week or
Yeah.
something. Do something, and it was kind of like a challenge. It was like
Yeah.
writing exercises. It reminded me of being in poetry club in high school.
Yeah.
Us having like time to free write, having time to just get ideas off, and like kind of like it felt like scientists comparing lab notes for like,
Yeah.
oh, this is the shit I got to this, what you
Yeah,
got to this, like, oh,
exactly.
what you think of this hook, what do you think of this line right here? Should I make the 16 into a 32?
Yeah.
Do you think that would be good for when you come in?
Yeah.
Should I take this bar out? Do you want to say this with me? Like, it was very, I think what made it work is that it felt like a collaborative process.
And you know what? From you just explaining it, like to me, it's like everyone's creating. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's putting in their input to the beat. Everyone's contributing to a verse. Everyone's contributing to the sound. So it's like you all are creating this magic together.
Yeah.
And it's not something that's just recorded.
Yeah.
That y'all hopping on. Like y'all are actually building the track from the ground up. And I feel like that is something that's really needed nowadays. And you all were doing literally artist development without even knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even to be able to have a producer to sit there that's one of your friends and actually be like, okay, well, what do you think about this sound? What can we add to this? You know, what do you, like you said, your ad-libs, just different stuff. You all were included in the process of making the magic. So I feel like you, like I said, you all were already doing the artist development naturally, and the results came out as what you were supposed to expect it to be, because you all had input in it, you all had fun doing it, and everyone, it was a vibe. And I try to always stress this to artists that communication is key. Communication is key, and collaboration is another thing too that is very important. Like when, even if you don't like working with other artists, like think about it on a higher business level. Like if you were to go out of the country and say, for instance, you network with these different artists from out of the country and you want to work with them, do you not know how big of an audience that's going to gain even more attention for you in a whole nother country? And like you're an artist too that plays with live music, instrument or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm one of those industry people, y'all, that I'm very like, I'm rooting for artists that don't perform their music with the track. Like you can do the hook with the track, but like if you got your stems and all that stuff from your band on it and record it like that, that's even more cooler too. But the next level, you being able to play loud music, live music with your band, is like next level stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, that opened up more opportunity for people that want to book you, because they see that you can come, you can sit and have a show, and not just get up there and say, hey DJ, yeah, I got my song on a flash drive, like I'm next to perform, and you just get up there and rap your song the whole time your song rapping for you. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't, for me as a listener, it doesn't make me feel as connected to you like I wanted to come to the show. I can just play your music online and, you know, and go from that. Like when I go to these shows, that's what I look for in artists. Like I love seeing people's stage presence. I love seeing how the crowd receive it. The live band is always a plus. So seeing you perform at Fall Fest last month here at Northeastern, you know, that was a really cool thing to see. That was my first time that I've seen you perform with the band and you shut it down. So like, how was that? How was that whole experience for you? Just, you know, performing at your university and them giving you the opportunity, you know, to just play your music for new listeners and people that go here.
So the cool thing, well, first of all, thank you for that. First of all,
shout out to Fredo and MPB, y'all. Shout out to Fredo and MPB
for hitting me up and being like, "Yo, we saw you at, you know, we've seen you before, so we want you to be able to do this." And it was like, okay, And then as soon as they asked me, I was just like, it's very easy for me to like get a amount of songs and then just grab DJ and just be like, you know what, we just about to do that and then bounce. But I'm like, you know what, if this is somebody's first time seeing, let me do something I
Yeah,
haven't done
exactly.
yet. You know,
Yeah.
let me try something and I've been meaning to do like the band thing for a minute because
And
like so many
yeah.
people that play. It's just, and it was crazy. I think the coolest part about that was how easy it was
Yeah.
to do, and I didn't realize
Realize it.
how
Yeah,
easy it was
exactly.
because there's a lot of people that like you'd be surprised how many people that play instruments just are looking for
Yeah.
excuses just to play for real.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my homies like my homie Jackson, I've known him since high school,
Mhm.
and that was our first time playing. Like he played
Wow.
bass, like
And killed it.
and went crazy.
Definitely killed it.
My homie Hunter, I met him after high school,
Wow.
and uh, he's like one of my best friends, and he was literally like, "Yo, if you ever do anything live, you let me know. I got you on guitar." So had to tap him in. Um, Jackson's homie Jason, who I never met prior to
Yeah.
that show, but he was like, "Yo, I'll play keys for you off the strength of that." That was dope.
Yeah.
My homie Romello was supposed to play drums for that show, but he ended up getting booked in LA to play a show.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he sent his homie Ruby
Yeah.
to come in last minute to play for us, and that was like really
Wow.
dope. And the fact that he took it and he didn't
Yeah.
even have to
Yeah.
was like a really like super dope experience, and like
Yeah.
how fast these guys picked up the songs and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, and just perfectly. And I'm just like, nah, it just felt like, I think the wildest part of that was hearing my songs that I produced be translated into live instrumentation, which
Yeah.
like I said, as a producer, that's one of the dopest
Yeah.
things you can hear
Yeah.
or be a part of.
And
And then,
sound good.
yeah, no, literally.
Because
And it's
people
like,
do it and
and
don't
it's
sound good. And
solid
you be
too. And it's
like,
like, it
you should have just
sounds
played your song.
how I would have wanted it to
Exactly.
sound too. And it's like,
Yeah.
and these are people that I trust with like these songs,
Exactly.
and they're like transcribing them very well, and just they just sound really good, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that was the cool thing, because like I said, it's all about, you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't get too many chances to perform,
Yeah. You don't
give
really
them a
know.
reason
Yeah.
to give you more,
Yeah.
you know. Or anytime that I get the opportunity, I want to leave like some sort of impression. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know about him, but like,
Yeah.
okay, I know him now
Yeah. We know him
a
now.
little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a whole lot, just like, like, all right, okay, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's something that I connected with, even if it's like, it might not even be my whole set. It might just be one song that like you felt.
WhoisAubry?
You feel me? But
For real.
at least you felt something that I made, and at least if something resonated, whether
Yeah.
it was, it doesn't even have to be the actual music itself, the
Yeah.
way I performed it, the
Yeah.
band, like
Yeah.
the stage presence. If it's
Yeah.
some element of what we did that left an impression on you in some way, that's a
Yeah.
mission accomplished to me, for
But
real.
so this goes into my next question then, because now that you get a chance to be on these stages now, people knowing your name, people are starting to get familiar with like who is Aubry, you know what I mean? Like the name is gonna keep popping up, and people are gonna continue to see you in spaces out in the scene. So it's like who is I know this is probably like a question that you probably get asked a lot, but I always ask it because it's really interesting to see and hear different artists' opinions on this. Like, who's a couple people in the city, like if you had the opportunity to work with or to collab with in the city, who would you love to work with out of our amazing Chicago music scene of artists?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Or who is just someone that you're like, wow, I love how they move, I love how they do this or produce or whatever, that maybe one day I would love to work with them.
Well, the number one answer to this is Saba.
Let's
He is my
go.
he's like my I think he's my favorite. He's my favorite. He's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
Saba always
rappers
been my
ever.
favorite.
Like, he's
Saba's
one of my
always been my
favorite. Like,
favorite.
I think, and especially because he's a big influence on
Yeah.
my music
Yeah.
specifically. Like, especially from a production standpoint. Like, I
Yeah.
love his production. I love the way that he structures beats. I love the way that he structures
Yeah.
songs. And I feel like while rapping at an elite level
Yeah.
too, I think that's kind of like, those are like the building blocks
Yeah.
that he set that I like always admired about
Yeah.
him. And I feel like it translates well into like what I try to do, what I try to make and stuff like that. But definitely him.
Sabo, if you listening, bro, tap in with my boy Aubry,
man,
bro.
I know. Look, that would be it. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. It's very few like. It's very few people that's just like, yo.
Yeah.
But like, I remember the first time I met him.
That's why
that was like the wildest, because it was at the Chance Open mic actually.
Wow.
It was the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
And I got to perform at that.
Nice.
One. He was there. This was before he dropped Bucket List.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in the crowd, and my homie, he knew I fucked with Saba heavy. He tasked me, and he's like, ain't that bro over there, right? Like, isn't that him right there? And he was just standing on the wall. My dumb ass, I'm from up north. I'm thinking I'm never finna see this nigga again. I'm like, all right, I gotta, like, I have to say something before. Like, I can't just see this nigga and not say anything.
Exactly.
So I walk up to him, and I'm like, yo, you one of my favorite rappers ever. Like I said, he ain't even dropped.
That's dope.
It was
That's
just
really
Comfort Zone at this point. He ain't dropped Care For Me. He ain't dropped Bucket List. He ain't dropped
Comfort Zone.
Nothing.
It was a
just
project.
Comfort Zone at this point.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, bro, you one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like, you got me as a fan forever type shit.
Saba had, like, this type of grit to his music that made you be like, wow, like, I just gotta tap in. I like his conversation, the way he deliver his music is just like, it's relatable.
Yeah.
It's a special energy.
Infectious.
It's like an infectious energy.
Very infectious.
That just taps you in. Like, Saba has always been that type of artist for me since I've even came across him in the city back in the Reggie days when they used to perform there a lot. And I was just like, wow, like his wordplay, the way how his style is, like everything. See like the evolution from that time of that project being introduced to us to all this amazing stuff going on. And then it's dope to be able to hear an artist say what they wanted to do in the future, and then they actually did it, and it became like the biggest thing when they did it.
Yeah, man.
So that
full circle moment.
I agree.
Literally. Yeah, no. That would be a crazy full circle moment, because I remember I told him, and I think this shit had me geeked for like the rest of the week. This shit was on a Monday. He was literally like, that was you that was just up there, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you killed that shit, and just dapped me up.
And Saba always been a really good dude. And I respect him so much. I respect the movement that he built with Pivot Gang and everybody else that's a part of that collective. Like R.I.P. John Wall and my boy Squeak. I always loved them. Like, they were always good people, always showed up to support, and they just always had a good energy. The legacy will live on through all their brothers and Pivot Gang, Saba, all y'all. We love y'all.
Definitely.
Going into this next question before we almost wrap this up, the song 106 in Park.
Yes, sir.
When I seen the title of it and then I heard the song, and I was just like, wow, this is Aubry showing the fuck out, to be honest. But then I was like, I just wanted to know, like, what inspired the name of the 106 in Park to be the title for this song, and what was like your thought process when you were making this track? It's a vibe.
So it's crazy because like this is around the time where it was like, I think it was during the summer. I was coming from a Wind Down Wednesday event. My friend Sophie, not Sophie, Sonia.
Yeah.
No, her name, like, she's an artist. She goes by So.
Yeah.
She was just talking to me. Yeah, we were just chopping it up. We were just catching up, and she was like, when was the last time you dropped any like solo shit? And I was like, I haven't, because like I was kind of just so locked into like the collaborative aspect of Stranded and MP3 that I wasn't really thinking, because I'm not like, I don't try to be a selfish person. Yeah. Like, if it comes down to me doing something, I will do it. But if it's like, if I'm not pressed to, I'm not going to. Yeah. And like, I was like, nah, it's been a minute. Like, I haven't really done it. And then she was just like, I don't think you understand. Like, you don't know who's waiting to listen to you, and you have like, she was like, you don't understand. Like, literally, a lot of people
Yeah.
want to hear you, and you have something that, like, a lot of people would
Yeah.
benefit from
Yeah.
listening to. And I asked her how long she's been thinking this,
Yeah.
and she was like, since the first time I saw you perform.
And that's crazy because like that just like with our situation when a lot of people don't know this, like there was a talent show going on at our school, and
that you made me do.
yeah, and I literally thought of Aubry, and I'm like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna make him do this. Like, I'm gonna make him do this. He has to do this. And it was so crazy because I didn't know what he was gonna perform. I didn't know anything, but just from the previous music that I've heard and just how you carry yourself as an artist and how you take your craft seriously, I didn't have like a doubt in my mind that you wasn't gonna take this. But it's just so funny because like I love that you mentioned like she was the one in your ear telling you about this. So
Yeah.
shout out to all the friends and people that, you know,
Yeah.
really be advocating, that see like the bigger picture in us sometimes and we don't see it. I love people that do that, and I try to be that person
Yeah, no.
to a lot of my friends. So I think like in that moment I seen that for you, and I was like, you know what? There's no one else that I can see that can do this right now that that could deserve it. And when I seen that opportunity, I'm like, you know what, Aubry, go do it, bro. I know you can do it because I know you already have something special. So then, when you got a chance, when you did it, you blew the fucking roof off in there. Like we're all chilling in there. Everyone's like, "Who's this guy going at the end?" I'm sitting over there like, "Let's fucking go. This is my friend." And then literally, when you got what made you different from the other performers, and this is why I respect you, is because when you stepped up to that mic, everyone's attention automatically was like, it was like the energy in the room had settled at a balanced state, and everybody looked and was like, he's about to get up here and talk his shit, and we are gonna focus and pay attention, and we are interested in what he had to say. And literally, when you perform, everybody was just blown away, and it was what was the name of that song that you had performed?
It was like a remix, like a rework.
But you see, it wasn't even like a single of his. It was a remix to something. But the way you came out, like you were on stage of like 100,000 people, that's what it felt like for me. Like when you got on that stage, it's like like your energy that you bring as an artist automatically had just set the tone, regardless if people wasn't paying attention, talking, laughing. It was like all of that deaded to be like, let's see what this guy's about to do because I just feel like he can do that. Yeah. And then literally, this man won $500, y'all. This man won the talent show, y'all. First place.
That shit was
first place.
That shit was crazy because it was literally like it was literally like I was not expecting. Like I just
exactly
just do it because you like literally were like, bro, just do it. Like,
and then you
like,
see,
what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
You know? So it was just like, it was really, I think, like you said, just having friends, like kind of just be like, just put that battery in your back to try things, to try and do things, to put like a little spring in your step to make an attempt to try something new that you probably wouldn't because you never know.
You just never know. You just never know.
Because it's like, it wasn't just so like my homies would tell me like, yo, have you thought about it? Like, has it crossed your mind?
Yeah.
And I was like, at the time, I just, like I said, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't putting it on the forefront of like dropping anything or working on anything. And so when it was somebody outside of my immediate friend group telling me that like I need to drop, it kind of really just made me think, because it's like, I'm not even around this person on a daily basis.
Why is he so like adamant about?
She's making this, like, she's literally putting this examination.
It'd be God talking, bro.
My face,
I'm telling you.
And it's like, okay, so after just talking to like a bunch of friends and talking to my homies, like feeling like, should I do it? And then everybody's just resounding, like giving me the push. I was just like, okay. So I remember it was like, I just came home from work. I got home. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going nowhere. I don't feel like going nowhere. I had some edibles actually like in my crib, and then I ate like a couple of them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just cook up whatever that I come up with, I come up with. And I just kept like, it just felt like that stream of consciousness of like, you know exactly what the next thing is going to be, like making the beat, putting something right here, putting something right there, and then the raps just wrote themselves. And it was kind of just like, it felt like such a full circle moment from what I used to sound like in high school to now, and kind of just people seeing like my peers being like, "Yo, how fast you've gotten better in the in a short time span is kind of crazy."
And then that's just cool, bro. Because then it's like, you know, like you said, I didn't know why, I didn't know what the purpose of, or why sometimes people be so adamant of me doing things or seeing things that I don't see myself. So I just felt like I said, when opportunities come like that, and I just feel like it's supposed to be for someone, I don't know. I just have to deliver that to that person. And I felt like in that moment, you doing that talent show, I feel like that was for you. I don't feel like you doing that talent show was to prove anything. I feel like you doing that talent show only showed that you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might not think it can be something bigger, and it could turn into something that could probably change your life. Like, you didn't know you was gonna be first place,
Right?
and you won $500. Like, what? You know what I mean? So like, I know that felt good to be able to be like, wow. And then like, you gain more fans of people, more people at the school know you now.
Yeah.
People tapping into the music, and then you got money in your pocket.
Right.
So I know that felt good to be like, wow. You know, I took a leap of faith and I listened, and then look what happened. You got rewarded.
It was literally like, I think a lot of things just when you go about it being yourself, I think that's what creates for moments for people to lock in and see what's up, because they know it's you being yourself. Like 106 in Park was just me being myself.
That was really cool.
I didn't go in there with like no set plan of like, oh, it needs to sound like this, it needs to be this. It's just me like talking. It felt like more of like a manifest for me. And like, I want people,
and you
like,
can hear that on that record. Like, when I listen to certain artists' songs, like after that song, I'll be like, I will always remember Aubry for making this song. So every time I play it, I'm gonna feel the vibe of him making it. So it was like hearing that 106 in Park record, and then hearing like the collaborative music that you did with Stranded, and then the collaborative music that you did with MP3. It's like a triple threat force. Like, you can be in that group collective moment and do that type of music. You can do the group moment too, and then you could do your solo. That's just all a part of like you just being versatile and being able to tap into doing anything you want to do without boundaries. So I commend you for that, bro. Like, you've been killing it out here. I'm excited to continue to grow with you as a friend, and just to see you just prosper into bigger opportunities and everything else that you got in the future to come, bro.
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate you for coming through the podcast today. Tap the people in of where they can find like your music, and what do you have in the works coming soon.
You can find me on all streaming platforms. WhoisAubry. That's WhoisAubry on all social media. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever that you get music. Stranded Civilians. That's a duo that I'm in. My brother Tony Santana.
Shout out to Tony Santana.
All streaming platforms, wherever that you stream music. Things I got coming. I'm working on a tape.
Okay, y'all. Tape coming. Tape coming.
Tape in the works. I feel like I caught the bug of everybody kind of working on stuff and kind of just creating like pieces of art, and I kind of wanted to put my name in that hat real quick.
You deserve it. You definitely.
I wanted to just kind of like feeding off of what I like to listen to, what I've been listening to, like the kind of space that I'm in, things that I want to talk about. I feel like I'm kind of structuring that, and I definitely want to drop a tape, so I feel like it's time to do that.
2025, so, y'all. Be on the lookout. Sure. Aubry on up, y'all.
Yeah. I can't wait. More performances, hopefully.
Okay.
Definitely gonna have the band with me. So if I ever got a show,
y'all gotta catch a show, y'all. Y'all gotta come out and catch the live show.
Definitely gonna most likely have the band with me next time that I do it. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna just be a lot more music, a lot more moments created, a lot more memories created, a lot more experiences that are positive rather than negative. Just creating more spaces for others to exist in as well as myself. So,
and that's important.
That's all I'm really just focused on, man. Just trying to, just have fun while doing it day by day. One
Inspire the
day at a
people
time.
to
One
get
step
people
at
to
a
do it
time.
themselves too. That's always lit, bro. Well, Aubrey, I appreciate you for coming through, bro. This is
My
the
dog.
second episode, my boy.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate you coming through. This was amazing, bro. I'm excited to just continue, like I said, to continue to grow with you.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, definitely check out the music. Aubrey is on the come up in here in Chicago. You're definitely gonna see more of him soon. If you can, definitely tap in. Go to his shows, support him, download the music, share a post, share the music. All of that stuff helps the artist, y'all.
Indeed.
But thank you so much for coming, my bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
And y'all, thank you for tuning in to Music to My Ears podcast episode 2. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Let's go.